Alright guys, let's hop right into it. No time wasting here. This is someone that's played over 100 plus hours of Diablo 4's beta. I actually had access to the game in 2022 as an official Diablo partner, so I'm going to go ahead and go over things rapid fire fast. Let's go ahead and hop right into it. So, starting right off, whether you've been playing the game for a while or if this is your first time, I'm going to go over everything that's going to be the best guide on YouTube. No questions. Alright, starting right off with the brand new updates. The most important thing is they're fixing some bugs, but in addition to that, the only real important thing for most players is that they're going to be changing one of the best sources of getting the legendary drops, which is the boss. So this is a boss, world boss, that you're going to have to actually defeat, but it only spawns in at a very specific time. So on the first day, Friday, it doesn't spawn in at all. So when does the boss spawn? It spawns in Saturday, March 25th, 10 a.m., 12 p.m., 10 p.m. and on Sunday, March 26th at 12 a.m. PDT. So that's Pacific time zone. So that's when the boss spawns in. The boss is super good for drops. The game is also available for download right now. So if you want to pre-download, you haven't downloaded it, whatever, go for it. In addition to that, I also want to go ahead and mention really quick, this over here, I'll link it also down below, but this is all of the altars of Lilith's location. So what these do, they give you some small sort of stat boost, or they can increase like your obols. They give you basically free extra bonuses, and if you want to know where every single one of these is going to be, this is the map. I'll link it down below, but yeah, we won't go over like, okay, 1, 2, 3. This basically goes over every single thing that you will want to actually be able to acquire when you're playing the beta. If you want to be like a completionist, go for it. But it does give you stats. Like, these aren't just like do it for nothing for an achievement or anything. They do give you actual stats. But the world boss is one of the best sources, because I get constantly asked, what is like the best way to go ahead and get legendaries? And I'll go ahead and cover that right now. So I already mentioned the world boss is one of the best sources of getting a legendary. Now you can get several. We're talking 6 to 8 on a relatively consistent basis if you can defeat the world boss. I have a guide that goes over how to actually defeat this world boss, as it's not really a cakewalk. You're seeing, look at the kill feed. A lot of people are dying because they don't know how the boss actually works, and it's because the boss can one-shot very consistently. But if you watch the video, you know exactly how to fight the boss, as the boss does have a lot of poison damage, so you can circumvent that by getting extra poison resist. But in the beta, it's kind of hard to actually get. But this is by far one of the best ways to get legendaries, but it only spawns in at a certain time. So you can see we got several here. There's also a very specific thing that you'll get on the world boss kill that you'll open up, and you get even more legendaries. So where does this world boss spawn? It's kind of in the right side of the closed beta. You'll see over here it says world event 25 plus. Recommendation, yeah, try to be level 25. It doesn't take that long to get there, and I'll show you guys how to get the most out of your XP as well. So yeah, this is an event. 30 minutes prior, it will tell you when it is actually starting. So just open your map, it's in the middle right, you'll see this giant like ice area that has basically nothing. That's when the boss is actually going to be spawning in. Now, in addition to that, most important thing, if you can get the poison resistance elixir, and you get these by going into Yugioh, you can go to any of the vendors that are the potion upgrades, and you will basically acquire these little herbs when you're just roaming around the world, and you can craft these elixirs. A lot of people don't even know what the heck an elixir is. If you are fighting the world boss, run the poison elixir. That's going to give you extra poison resistance, plus it gives you bonus experience when you have it. Now, if you want to level up the fastest way to level up is obviously pop one of these. It gives you free XP bonus. But the Thorns one earlier on will make it so most things, and I'll show you guys gameplay, even if you're very low level, most of the things in the game will legit one-shot themselves if you pop the Thorns potion earlier on, and it lasts for 30 minutes, and you only need to pop a couple of these to get to max level in the game. So make sure you take advantage of elixirs. No one really talks about this, but it's one of the fastest ways to level if you run the Thorns potion, okay? Next up over here, another great source of getting legendaries is via Lisbeth with obols. So you'll do these like open world events. You're going to get these things called obols. Those are the little things that it says 505. Unless you're maxed out, don't spend your obols until you're max level, because the items that you want are more than likely going to be way better when you are at a higher level. So spend your obols once you are either capped out, which is defaulted by 500. You can increase this by getting some of the Lilith statues in the game, which I showed you guys earlier on, but go to Lisbeth in Kilvoshad, spend your obols on her. But make sure you are gearing up and getting all the legendary pieces that you may want first that are cheaper. For example, gloves are going to be much cheaper than getting a weapon, but depending on your build, you may really want like a weapon legendary if you already, have a glove legendary, let's say. But legendaries aren't the end all because you can craft them, and we'll talk about that in a second. I have a video guide that goes over that. But make sure you spend your obols at Lisbeth. So next up over here, I want to go ahead and show you guys. This is before, okay? This is when I had 500 obols and I hit level 25. I decided let's go spend all of them. You can see I didn't have legendaries in my helmet, my chest, gloves, and pants, but just with that, I got all of it. I got everything except for the weapons, just with one rotation. So the Gambler, if you played Kadala in Diablo 3, this is basically her. But you can see not everything is equal in the cost. So make sure you buy the cheapest ones first, and then you can move up if you are missing them in the slot. Another thing that is very important that a lot of people don't know about is some quests in this game require you to equip an emote, and you have to use an emote at these certain quest locations. Sometimes it'll be a riddle. You have to equip your emotes to actually complete some of these side quests in the game, because I was really confused on some of these. I'm like, what the heck's going on? How do I complete the quest? You have to equip the emote, and you do an emote to actually complete the quest. I know it's weird. It's part of the game. But next up over here, the next thing I want to talk about, a lot of YouTubers are saying this class is OP, this class sucks, whatever the case may be. Keep in mind, this is a beta. Things are subject to change. I can show you guys gameplay right now of every class being absolutely amazing. So this is a boss that spawns, and this is me playing the rogue, and you can see I'm deleting this boss really, really fast. I mean, right when the boss spawned in, I laid some traps, and the boss just got deleted in just a few seconds here. You can even see this. This was a very, very popular clip that I saw going around the Diablo community. It was basically showing off how OP Hydra is. Now, Hydra probably is still one of the best options in the game, but I killed my boss just as fast. A lot of people are really saying Barbarian is lackluster, but I promise you, if you use the Thorns potion, you can even scale Thorns really hard on Barbarian. Look at this. I'm just taking a sip of water. All of the monsters, with the exception of like maybe elites, can pretty much one-shot themselves. I'm legit AFK doing a lot of these quests by playing Barbarian. Some of these quests that you could just literally sit back and let them just eliminate each other. All of the classes are viable, as in you can complete the content. So don't be discouraged if you're like, I really like Barbarian. I know it's specifically Barbarian where people feel like it's kind of hard. It's because it's melee, and a lot of the objectives require you to maybe move around or the enemies move. So I know there's a lot of people that may not enjoy Barbarian at the start. Another thing is going over the treasure goblins. In Diablo 3, treasure goblins might not be the best, but treasure goblins in Diablo 4 are absolutely amazing. Make sure, if you can, try to chase them. Sometimes it may be dangerous, but it's going to be absolutely worth it to go ahead and do these treasure goblins if you want like the best ways to get legendaries. Treasure goblins, world boss is definitely number one, but you're limited on when you can do them. Defeat all the treasure goblins, do the open world events. So going into dungeons, some people I've seen YouTubers talk about like doing dungeons for legendaries. Honestly, I do not think they are that great for legendaries. Again, I've played over 100 hours of the builds of the game, even last year. As far as dungeons go, I would say there are aspects to acquire. Now, I did a video going over how to craft in the game, how to craft a legendary power, how to add sockets to your weapons, how to upgrade them. Check out that video. It will be pinned in the this video. But make sure you get the aspects that you want, and make sure you place them on the correct thing. I go over in depth, but basically some legendary powers will be better in certain slots, whether it's the amulet, a two-handed weapon. Those are the ones that you really want to prioritize, and explains everything in that video. But don't feel like you have to do all these dungeons. Dungeons aren't going to be the end-all, be-all for getting legendaries. The best way to actually get legendaries is, again, world bosses are hands down the best because you get like 6 to 8, but doing these open events where you have to stand on a platform, maybe you have to like find the lost souls like mother. Basically, you'll see these little events. Do those events. There's also strongholds that you can do to kind of cleanse the area and just get more of the map completed. But doing these events is going to be excellent because not only do you get a chest at the very end, but on top of that, you also get those obols, and you use those obols to go ahead and gamble at the NPC Lisbeth. Again, that's in Kilvoshad. But anyways, I try to go over this video as fast as possible because I think it's very important to go over and not waste people's times. So That said, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If it helped you guys out in any way, drop a like on it. If you're new here and do want to see more Diablo content, maybe builds in the future, as you know, right now it's beta. I don't know if I'm going to make some beta builds, but subscribe to the channel if you want to see more, and I'll see you in the next video. And if you're playing this for the first time, let me know what class you are going to be rolling first. But for the next beta, I'm going to be playing Necromancer first, and then we'll obviously do Druid. We'll max out every single class. But take care, and I'll see you guys in the beta. Peace out.